One thing I want to do, though, is I want to address my Terry McAuliffe interview yesterday because it's gotten all over the news. It's been in the Richmond Times-Dispatch. There's a story on the Washington Post coming out today. It made all of the local Richmond TV and radio stations other than me. They picked up. They all asked me permission for the tape. But I got a lot of criticism via text and Facebook and others from the McAuliffe haters out there criticizing me for having him on and not, I guess, calling him an asshole or something. But look, let me just say three things, okay? I just want to make this clear. Number one, I run a business, right? And part of the business is bringing my audience differing views. If you want to just tune me in every day and hear me write down what Fox says and repeat it to you, and then you can flip between me and Fox Friends, I guess that would be one way to do the show. I don't do it that way. What I try to do is bring my audience a different perspective. And if you don't have a conversation with the other side, you never understand where they're coming from. I don't know how not having a conversation is beneficial. Number two, my interview style is not gotcha. It's not what I do. I've been on the air. This is my 9th year. I've never done that. I don't do gotcha. I just don't do it. And so I have a conversational style. And so anybody that comes on with me knows that. Now, I had McAuliffe, who was going to run for president. I had him on for 50 minutes. There's not another interview between now and whenever he drops out or becomes a nominee that he's going to have that's 50 minutes long. You don't get a 50-minute interview wide-ranging without being able to have a conversation. So that's number two. You have to have a conversation with people, okay? Here's number three. I hope to have the opportunity to be Trump chairman of Virginia again in 2020. And I now think we can win. I didn't 6 months ago, but now with everything going on, I think we can win, and I think Scott Taylor can beat Mark Warner. So I hope to have that opportunity. But in order to win in Virginia, you have going to have to get independents and moderate Democrats to vote for Trump. You cannot win by just turning out Trump's base. And so for those of you that frothed at the mouth with E.W. Jackson in 2013 and Cuccinelli in 2013 and Corey Stewart in 18, these are Pyrrhic victories. You know, you won a battle, lost the war. In order to win this state now, which has gone pretty blue, right? They've won 15 in a row. I think it would be very difficult not to agree with me that you have to be able to have a conversation with independents and moderate Democrats in order to win an election. You have to be able to have a conversation. And so if your whole mantra is just hate on people and blast them because it makes you feel good in the moment, what exactly is that going to accomplish? You know what's going to accomplish? Nothing. So as we go forward in this cycle, I'm going to continue to get progressive Democratic voices on my network. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's part of the political dialogue. You can disagree with them, and you can text me and blast them, but to criticize me for giving them a platform, you're shortchanging yourself and other listeners. That's why Democrats come on Fox and Republicans like me go on CNN. I mean, that's why you do this. And I just got a text here from Darren who says we have to play the long game. And Darren, you're absolutely right. We have to play the long game. And so I'm going to get Bernie Sanders on. I'm going to get Terry McAuliffe on. I'm going to get Bobby Scott on. Abigail Spanberger. Elaine Loria refuses to come on my show or return my call. So it is what it is. All right. And as a result of that, I hope she loses because I don't even, if I ran into her in a shared Lyft ride, I wouldn't know her, right? I've never met her. I've never talked to her. I've never had a text or email back from her staff. They refuse to engage with me, and that's fine. You know, if they think they can win again in the 2nd District with Trump on the ballot, who carried Hampton Roads, if they think they can win again without engaging moderate Republicans or other Republicans or independents who listen to my show, if they think they can just win with their Democratic base in the 2nd District, fine. They're going to lose. Why do you think Spanberger comes on whenever I ask? In the 7th, because she can't win without Republican votes. That is a Republican district. You need to have a conversation with the other side. How do you think Trump got elected? How do you think he won those states? How do you think he won Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, almost won Minnesota, Iowa? You know, these are swing and some Democratic states. How do you think he won that? He won that by going there and engaging with their voters. So this idea that we simply shut everybody out so that, I don't know, we can feel good in the moment, I don't know what that accomplishes. And look, I try to ask good questions. I was on with McAuliffe an hour yesterday. I'm not going to defend the interview, say it was the best ever, but it certainly wasn't the worst ever. And I got as many questions in as I could. Did I miss some? Yes. On my list, I had to ask them about the comment he made about punching the president in the face. And I was going to say, I mean, is that particularly presidential? Is that really the one? Is that what kind of a campaign you're looking at? I just ran out of time. I forgot it. A lot of people wanted me to ask him about Charlottesville. No way. I don't care about Charlottesville. That was a black eye for Trump and the Republicans. It was a disgusting event. And the quickest you can get that out of your lexicon, the better. There is no upside in that. And he wants to write a book on it. I'm not buying it. I don't want to talk about it, okay? Tiki torches, blood to soil, all that nonsense that went on, white supremacists, nationalists running around, somebody murdered. I mean, that is the last thing I feel like talking about. Maybe you want to talk about it. I don't. Other than that, look, here's what the guy did yesterday. He flip-flopped on the 3rd-term abortion on the Kathy Tram bill. McAuliffe went on CNN and said that he would have vetoed it. He went on my show a month later and said that he wouldn't, and then tried to defend it by spinning it. That's fine. But he also said he wasn't going to apologize as a white male. There was a lot of things in that interview that was of substance. Okay? So for those that, I'm going to turn it off. Those that turned off yesterday, and I got a lot of those texts, I'm turning you off. I'm turning you off. I don't want to hear a 50-minute interview from a former governor of your state who is going to be a potential serious candidate for president. I'm going to turn it off. Why are you turning it off? Think about those comments. I'm going to turn it off. Think about that. Right? That's what they do. Now, what if every time Trump went to Wisconsin, working people said, I'm going to turn him off? They wouldn't even know what he was saying, would they? They wouldn't know. And so we have to have a dialogue in this country, good, bad, or ugly. Let them hate. Let them be haters. I'm not a hater. I don't hate anybody. I have the ability to have progressive friends. I don't hate them. I don't agree with them. Right? I'm going to try to defeat them in elections. But hate it will drive you into the turf, man. Hate it'll just drain you. I've seen it. I'm 61 years old. I've seen it too much in my life. So I'm going to continue to do that. And if you're unhappy with it, you have the right to turn me off. I understand that. I'm just asking everybody to keep an open mind. Not that you're going to vote for McAuliffe. That's not what I mean. But have an open mind to listening to the other side. You cannot defeat them if you don't understand where they're coming from. Like the Democrats couldn't beat Trump in 2016 because they never got it. Because they never actually paid any attention to what he said. For 35 years. So that is my response to those that were yelling at me on text and on Twitter and Facebook and turning me off and, deleting my app because I have. What are you going to do when I have Bernie Sanders on, who's coming on in 2 weeks? What are you going to do then? I want to know what Bernie has to say. He is going to be the nominee. Turn him off. Oh, you can live in that bubble, or we can understand what is going on. You have to understand, why has the left taken over the Democratic Party? Do you have any idea why? Well, if you can't answer that, you got to find out. I don't know why they've done that. I don't think McAuliffe knows either. I don't think Biden knows. Let's try to find out. All right, we got a crisis at the border. We're going to get into that when I come back. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Thank you, John Fredericks Radio Network, live Miami Truck